My birthday, friends all around. I should feel lucky. But I looked at my phone and seen that Gary Nolan blocked me. What the hell? How does he even know about me? The cake comes out, everyone is smiling. I know I should be happy too, but I'm dying, fucking dying. 'Cause Gary Nolan blocks me. The world is crumbling all around me. I wanted Gary to tell me why he shared Chris Bartell's brain scans on TV. It's my birthday, friends all around. I should feel lucky. But I looked at my phone and seen that Gary Nolan blocked me. What the hell? How does he even know about me? The cake comes out, everyone is smiling. I know I should be happy too, but I'm dying, I'm fucking dying. Because Gary Nolan blocks me. The world is crumbling all around me. I wanted Gary to tell me what aliens are planning. And I can't blow out my candles because of all of these scams. And I can't blow out my candles because of all of these scandals. It's a shame. I brought all my homies to the stage, and now it's my birthday, friends all around. I should feel lucky.
Tell him off what you told me. This next time you might remember Richard Doty.
Bitch, I gotta go. Out of pity, where your mama at? Papa soda. It don't matter where the drama at. Bitch, you gotta fall out the state. What is with that? What you know about Tractor Lords on 6th and clay trapping? I got a 40 cal, ain't that a tall white dame I met at a party out in Compton, and I'm high, super fucking high. Now it's bopped and we mobbed and through Gardena in a UFO, and it's autopilot and I can't see the road, and that's a feature. I'm getting dome in a UFO built by Nazi witches from a time portal set up by Egyptian mystics in a Cold War time walk through different dimensions. It's a fucked up system of egos and bitches. Anyways, I'm getting domed up by white girl on white girls. Wanna firearms on coke? I told the Pope that we got the bag and coming through. One blue alien, a red panda, 3 white girls in blue.
In the open road, I saw your hair in the front window. You were then that I was certain that I wanted purple curtains. I know your mom's a looker, but what if I just called her a hooker? It's a harassment campaign. Stop asking me how tall my wife is. That is harassment. What I do is not the same. Maybe I just dabble in harassment campaigns. I wanted revenge because someone called me lame. Maybe I just wanted some people I trusted to protect me from the truth. I don't know what I was so afraid of. What if that was you?
left to execute a plan to remove the children from a woman who dared to take a stand for something she believed in. Let me tell you something I believe in. Oh Lord, there is no comparing to the embarrassment of just being barren, not just being barren. Wake up angry, I know it must be someone else's fault. It's not because I'm bald. When I get grossed out every time I'm out and catch my own reflection, it's my direction. If people would die, global warming would stop. If Tupac was dead, we'd all be better off. He's at the center of everything I hate about myself. If he could go away, maybe today, then I'd finally love myself. I have to lash out at women because I'm bald and ugly. I'm fucking ugly. It makes me feel great to be so filled with hate, but I can't deny that I'm a good guy because I love Lou. I know Lou is true. When I wake up angry, I know it must be someone else's fault. It's not because I'm bald. When I get grossed out every time I'm
Sick of the same old news that's more snooze than news? Then crank up the volume for Skyfire News, the only broadcast that's literally out of this world.
As an astrophysicist, I can tell you that the universe is full of mysteries, but with Skyfire, you can uncover some of those mysteries from your phone in your pocket.
I've tangoed with tales so top secret, they're stored on the dark side of the moon. Skyfire News, it's like they've hacked the galactic mainframe, serving up scoops so juicy, they make Area 51 look like a public library.
With unrivaled extraterrestrial expertise and interstellar insights, Skyfire News brings you the latest from the final frontier. We're not just ahead of the curve, we're bending space-time.
even though I don't know all the causes. I know tables can't press charges. It was just standing there holding on to what you put down on it. She didn't cause me afflicted. She wasn't threatening you. How is it you were able to flip it, table flipper? Joe, you get so triggered and angry. It's actually fucking crazy. You're into your entire bomb taking. Your life is the table that you've been flipping. It's true. That's right, Joe. You know about your gambling addiction and the tables. Tables can't press charges, Joe. Your family hates you.
I'm muted. How long was I muted? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay. If someone said sounds great. I'm unmuted now, right? Are we in the mix? Okay, I don't know what you guys heard, what you didn't hear, but I want to say thank you guys for popping in. Thanks for being here. Of course, we're on Tupacabra YouTube channel and not the typical Skyfire News channel, and that's because of some false copyright strikes that were done by the infamous King Milk Fart. Let's a round of applause for that jackass. Thanks for everybody telling me I'm muted. I thought I was scrolled down the whole way, but I was not. Like I was saying, though, we have some very interesting news stories for you, and also some like I don't know. I think it's kind of off the wall. I've been looking into this one thing for a while, and it's like very, very fringe, and I just always look out to see if it's ever going to make its way to the surface. And today it did. So we'll go over that, and I think we should actually go over that. Let's just do it right now.
It's time for the conspiracy of the day.
Okay, real quick. I don't know what is happening. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I'm going to ask the chat. Did you guys hear that? Okay, there's another random video playing. guys, we're running this operation on a shoestring right now. We're living it up. But check this out. This is a post that Mario Narfall posted today, right? And so this, I think, is really, really interesting. Of course, it deals with purple aliens. And the reason is because, according to popular mechanics, little green men might be out, but purple could be in. A Cornell University study suggests alien life might flourish in purple, especially under the glow of red dwarf stars. Okay, like that's take a look at my see how ahead of the curve I am. They're all coming around. They're all coming around, guys. No, the concept was kind of lost on me until I really looked into it and tried to figure out what this means. You know, why would life flourish under a red dwarf star? What's the difference? You know, is it just the color? Like, okay, maybe it's the color. Well, I found out it's not the color. It's way more complex than the color. Like, but certain plants, like trees and stuff, they grow great under red light, like purple light. And so there are people who think that Earth was once in a system of a red dwarf star, believe it or not. And their reasoning for that might blow you away. So a lot of people think, and I don't know if you guys have heard this, but that Saturn used to be the sun. So Saturn used to be a star is the idea. And when you look back, there's all these different languages in different cultures who referred to Saturn as the sun. And we're going to get into that in just a second, right? And so like super bizarre. But yeah, there's a huge belief system, and a lot of them are part of this thing called the electric universe. And the electric universe is a theory, right, about like exactly that instead of gravity, the idea might be that electricity is what governs everything. And real quick, I want to get over to this video, and this video is it has this dude named he's an Australian physicist, dude. He passed away recently, so RIP. And his name loses me right now, but you guys got to check this out real quick. There's a really cool video that explains this. And so it's not just a difference of the color of light. It's the type of energy that comes off of different stars. And the type of energy that comes off of a red dwarf star is very different. And it essentially would engulf a small area in like a gas light, you know, like a fluorescent light tube. If you turn a fluorescent light tube on, it just illuminates the entire inside of it. And what's in there is gas. And that's why if you break it, it doesn't work. So like it's a vacuum chamber and there's gas in there, and the different gas glows different colors when you run electricity through it. It creates a plasma. And that's what happens around a red dwarf star. It creates a plasma. And so it's just it's a cool deal. So let's get over into this little clip here.
And I want to take you back to just before
Wall
the famous
Thornhill. That's his name.
Cassini-Huygens space probe was to arrive at Saturn on July the 1st, 2004. In news reports, Saturn was dubbed the original Lord of the Rings. There is a profound truth behind such a glib turn of phrase, but it wasn't until the advent of the telescope that Christian Huygens in 1656 was able to suggest that Saturn had a ring. So how do we explain the Saturnian ring symbolism that pervades our cultures? The halo of the saints, the royal crown, and the ring given in marriage are Saturnian symbols, as are the circled or Celtic cross, the Egyptian Ansate cross or Ankh, the Eye of Ra, and the astronomically baffling star inside the crescent. The star at the top of the lighted Christmas tree is pure Saturnian imagery. It is truly amazing that we are still haunted by prehistoric archetypes. It helps us to understand the extraordinary archetypal attraction of Tolkien's fantasy of Lord of the Rings. He was well versed in mythology. The following description of events is based on the surprisingly detailed and truly remarkable scholarship of Talbot and Cardona, which required explanations with the physics of an electric universe. Let's call our primordial star Proto-Saturn.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna pause it and just let you guys see what this is. So here you have the Saturn, the star, but look how different it is. It's not this white light that goes out in all directions everywhere continuously. It's an illuminated heliosphere, and it's very small. And so inside of this heliosphere, the gas inside of the plasma is so dense, you're not going to basically see darkness. Even the opposite side of the planet that's facing the sun or the star or whatever, Saturn in this case, would be illuminated. It would be because the gas behind it is also illuminated, and it would be constantly under this red purple glow. And this is an old theory. Look at how old this graphic is. How old is this video? Well, this video itself is 3 years old, but this stuff goes back a long ways. David Talbot and Walt Thornhill, they go back. They were understudies, or David Talbot was an understudy of Immanuel Velikovsky, and this guy goes back way far. So they've been looking at this for a long time, and it's an interesting thing that now we have this post by Mario Narfel and this study from researchers at Cornell University that suggests life flourishes in purple glow, like in a purple light. And then they're over here doing this. And so why is this interesting? Not because we're talking about a potential planet out there in the system that might have a red dwarf star, like, system going on, but no, because the idea and the reason why these guys thought about it for so long is because based on old mythology and the human record, these guys thought, like, holy shit, what are they talking about? What are they talking about, all these myths? Why are they using this phrase, this wording, this language? And they came to the conclusion that Saturn, not only are stars electric, right, but Saturn was the original star of our system, and a lot of life evolved underneath that system. And the current sun that we have right now was a wandering star outside of our solar system, and it wandered in, and it was more powerful, obviously, than Saturn, and it wandered into the heliosphere. It short-circuited it, killed it essentially. So now it's a dead star. It's a gas giant, and everything in the system started to orbit around the sun. They think this is reflected, and as crazy as that sounds, they think it's reflected in the human record. They think humans have seen this. They think that we were around, something was around. Our stories are based around this event. The idea of introducing day and night. There's, again, this is weird, but if you look at like other elements of the planet in prehistoric times, the size of trees, the size of dinosaurs, like, things were different. The conditions were so different. They know that they were different on Earth. They have to theorize that the oxygen content was way more when dinosaurs were cruising around because of how big they were. But yeah, it's this is a different kind of conspiracy, I know, but it's crazy. I'll let this guy continue for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But I wanted to show this to you guys.
It was an independent brown dwarf with its own entourage of satellites, including the Earth, Mars, and Titan. Proto-Saturn's dim reddish light was due to a glowing red anode plasma sheath, much larger than the Sun,
What
enclosing
up?
proto-Saturn and its inner satellites in a radiant cell. The term dwarf star is purely theoretical, since they are difficult to see and measure. In fact, NASA reported a brown dwarf which was radiating as if it had twice the expected surface area. The environment inside the radiant red shell is most hospitable for life on any enclosed satellites because there are no seasons, and water is conspicuous in the spectra of such stars.
What a poet. What was that last sentence about? He could have said that so different. Okay, Red, welcome to the show. We were just talking about the idea of this Mario Narfall post. I don't know if you saw it. The alien
Be
life.
purple.
Yeah, they might flourish under a purple light or whatever, be purple and whatnot. So it's an interesting thing.
That's what's up. That's cool. I like Dino Nuggies. Yes.
Big fan. Dude, what is on your mind today with all this stuff coming out? I mean, there was another kind of whistleblower space again last night, right? With Mario Woods or one of these things. Like, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was cool.
You know?
A lot more people coming to Twitter Spaces, so that's cool. That's fun.
They really are. What's with the whistleblower invasion of Twitter Spaces? I
like it. I like this whole screw the melon narrative. Not to say I appreciate a lot that Chris Mellon's done. You know what I mean? But there could be multi-pronged things, right? And it's like these guys aren't really like Greer guys, and they're clearly not doing what Mellon wants. So it's cool.
Hell yeah.
The more the merrier, right?
I agree. Keep it real. Get everybody in the mix. I want to hear every story that there is to hear. I want to you know what I mean? I need that. I need it all. So.
What's your take on this? And we'll ask the chat this, and I put this up on Skyfire. Right, in this whole little ecosystem that is UFO Twitter lately, Rick Doty has been, coming into spaces more. I'd consider him a friend, at least of our friends. Like, we have friends who are really close with him. Ocean in chat, Logan. What's your take on Rick Doty speaking in spaces? A lot of people have a lot of feelings about this.
What's my take on Doty? I think Doty is fine. I think that there's people who surround Doty that I think are a little bit more interesting. A lot of people are like his handlers in spaces, and I think that that's something that people should pay attention to. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, Eric the Adventurer, right? I think he says he's his handler, openly, right?
Yes, openly, yeah, and his agent and stuff. I think that I think is interesting. I think he should talk. I don't think people should be shunned or whatever. And I've talked about Doty before, where everybody who hears the story of Doty and Benowitz feels personally attacked and personally threatened, and they want a personal apology from Doty because of it. And so he finds himself having to address the same thing over and over and over again. And since I've said that about him, I've come to understand that more and more. I can empathize with that more and more. So there's that. But I mean, I think he should talk. I think everyone involved should be talking, because there's maybe little truths in there. But taken as gospel, no, dude. No way. What about you? What do you think?
I think of J. Allen Hynek, right? Should I pull up a picture of him? Maybe I will. Why not? He was disinfoing people for 20 years, right? Before he had his turn. This guy right here, right? The guy he told us the swamp gas thing, everything, right? And I think he was able to do a lot of good after he kind of had his turn, It's the thing about this subject, right? It's covered up in really weird and gross ways. The only way you're ever going to really learn about it is by the people doing it. And Doty was one of 16 people who did that whole Benowitz operation. And he's the only one who's coming forward and talked about it. And I think we've learned a lot about the inner mechanisms of the government by his coming forward. But I do think people should be aware of his history and use discernment. But yeah, I am glad to live in a world where he's talking as opposed to one where we don't know anything from him. You know what I mean?
And shout out to Spaces. I always thought that it was for me the best way to talk to people of all different walks of life in different parts and aspects of this infrastructure of ufology or whatever, right? But now to have whistleblowers coming out and more and more like old, the old guard of UFO, more and more of them showing up and talking in them. I think is great. I think it's a big thing.
Did Whistleblower Mike inspire this wave of whistleblowers in Twitter Spaces?
Maybe, whistleblower might have started trending. They see it, they hear it, they're like, okay, we got to get these, we got to get this shit out of here. But
oh shoot, is my thing on? Oh yeah, it is. So we asked around, what do you guys think of Doty speaking in Spaces? UAP Mike says, I think the whole Doty in Spaces thing is gonna turn ugly. And actually, I'm gonna put up some little background music. I like doing the background music.
How
and
so?
read the chat.
How is it going to turn ugly?
Yeah, Mike, I'd love to hear you expand a little bit more on how
Mike
it's going to
says-
turn ugly.
Mike says he's a trendsetter, dude.
He is.
Yeah.
Dude, he started the whistleblower wave. He got Lou Reviews to release his DMs, you know what I mean? B, friend of the show, mod, member of our original channel. Rick Doty confirmed more cases he knows of, but not part of. They used alien abduction as a counter-espionage action and asked what he knows of implanted memories and faked encounters. See, good intel. Wild Bill says, Doty's group pushing disclosure genuinely, in my opinion. Doty's group is pushing disclosure genuinely, in my opinion. Coin Exchange / Ganga says, I am Doty's personal nemesis. Kent Reynolds, friend of the show, hero of the show, inspiration of the show, says, Doty speaking is a good thing. Oh. 1 second, mate. Doty speaking is a good thing. People need to understand that he can provide insights that others can't. I take it seriously, my role. Ocean says, I love hearing Rick Doty's take, especially on old stuff, but also more recent stuff. Very insightful, even if you don't believe 100% of it. Derek Dougherty says, Doty is one of my favorite characters. I love a good redemption arc. I feel the same way. I mean, I feel like that's kind of in my nature. Right? I'm always trying to like give people a redemption arc route. You know what I mean? Swiss Army Uber, champion of the 97's Winter X Games, says, I love Spaces Warriors. It's been amazing. UP Mike says, what is Doty exposed? I can't think of anything. I think his role in the Doty Benowitz affair, right? He speaks openly about it, that he was tasked to disinform people. You know what I mean? And I think that in itself is crazy. He's also talked about how he did it. He was psyoping everybody in the 80s, right? He talked about psyoping Linda Moulton Howe, Bill Moore. He was at that conference. I don't know if you know that, where Bill Moore did his whole speech. That's maybe a story for another day. Buddy James says, people will find out the political influence behind Doty in time, but can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Uh-oh, who's the political backer of Doty? Terrestrial Material, friend of the show. We did a great stream yesterday on Alien Addict. Dirty
good.
Doty. Swiss Army Uber says, Heineck had a redemption arc too. Good point, Panda. Yep, exactly. And I'd say Heineck, he laid the foundation, right? He was there from like 48 to 69. Right, this is when the American psyche related to UFOs was really just establishing, right, that foundation stuff. So everything off of it is kind of like, and he was doing some dirty stuff. People don't know, dude. He was going to UFO groups and being like, hey, if you lie, I'll tell you some secret stuff that'll make you feel good. It wasn't just like, you know what I mean? He was getting in the weeds with this stuff. Yeah. Kirkpatrick is irredeemable though. No, I think there's room for Kirkpatrick too. UAP Mike says, Doty still lies to this day about Serpo. Yeah, I'd love to get a friend of the show estimate of the situation. He's been on that Serpo beat a lot lately related to Doty and stuff. I'd love to hear his takedown on that. But also Serpo, and this is another tangent for another day. Honestly, I don't know, man. Some of the Serpo stuff sounds like it might be plausible, just conceptually.
Explain what do you mean? What do you mean? Break down Serpo for us.
Okay, really quickly. Really quickly. Serpo is allegedly like this off-world program where like Americans were sent to whatever planet and like an exchange program. You know what I mean? People say the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind kind of alludes to it. And apparently, per estimate of the situation, Rick Doty basically fabricated a bunch of this stuff online in 2005, and it's kind of had a life of its own since then. So yeah, Superwater78 says Doty is full of shit. Okay.
Shit. No, that was a good breakdown. And you think that there's some validity to it?
I don't know about that story, and honestly, I haven't deep dove it, so I'm probably not in a position to speak on it. But just from what I know tangentially, like there's stuff that you hear in other stories where it's like, oh, that kind of sounds like Serpo-y. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's hard to wrap my mind around the idea that they have been doing like they have something like that going on, that far advanced.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that was our little. Oh, actually, should we play the thing since we're here that we clipped of Lou reviews being called disinfo agent by Doty? Did you see this?
Now this is crazy. This is one of the funniest shit that I ever heard. Let that ride for a second.
Let me say something. Lou, it's my impression that you are a disinformation person that's planted in these rooms. You disinform. You don't. You're not approaching anything with an open mind. All you want to do is argue and distort facts and call people liars. So that's my impression of you. That you are in fact a disinformation person in this room.
Damn.
Okay, well,
I'll stick up for Lou, though,
Nicole,
now.
hold on a second, Nicole. I'd like to address that. I would love for anyone here. Here's my full name, Luis Victor Jimenez. Anyone could go find out right now if I'm a disinformation agent, like a claim that you just fucking made right now. So now you've just weaponized all the people in this room to come after me. Well, now you guys have my full name, so go for it.
Kind of a weird move to go into the self-docs right after that.
Yes, it is kind of weird.
And find out what department within the government I work for. Because Ricky Ticky just put a fucking label on me like that.
Hey, this is...
Well, you put a label on me, so
that's fair.
I can put one on you.
I can put one on you.
He's just in his recliner, like that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Being called the disinfo agent by Richard Doty it's got to feel crazy. That's got to feel crazy.
Yeah, no. There was a time when Rick Doty said he was going to look into me and Lou reviews because we were being critical of Fessler's show. That might be worth playing. I don't know. Maybe not.
Working on a new graphic for when you dive into things like Serpo. What do you think? This is the start of it. We're getting there.
Oh, I like it. That's cool. And who am I teaching? Who is this?
Honestly, it keeps wanting to just bring people from some sci-fi movie where you're training pilots on how to fly UFOs. It's all I can think. It's crazy.
It's like the trench run briefing in Star Wars.
Yes. There's another one. The ones are hilarious. What you can pull out with this stuff. But there's another one where I tried to get it where you're more of like a symposium, and it nailed it a little too closely. Just a little too close, but so funny, dude. Like no one needs to be at like a faux TED Talk with a red raccoon. But this is cool. We're working on this graphic. We're going to get more stuff up there, guys. There are some interesting things that got posted today in terms of DC and disclosure. Timber Chet.
Trump is the president. Oh God.
He is
funny, bro.
He is a president. He's a president. I'm gonna blame this one entirely on Midjourney. That's my out.
Oh, AI thinks Trump is president.
AI does. AI, it automatically made that association, and that's the deal. So what are we talking about here? Let me grab it. The post that got posted by Timber Chet I thought was really interesting. Of course, it was about all this hoopla. Let me get this clip in the mix. Do you think, before I play the clip, Red, do you think Tim Pritchett is kind of over it?
UFO burnout is a real thing, and it affects everyone, right? Especially, I'd imagine, the politicians. Imagine, I think we talked about this when Ashton was here the other day. Imagine how weird, it's weird for UFO content creators, right? Imagine how weird it is for UFO politicians and all the weird stuff they're hearing. And we've heard already that they've been given dossiers on us, and, they're probably just over it. Yeah, I'd imagine he's getting a little over it for sure. And then when you're getting stonewalled and whatnot, UFO fatigue, as UAP Mike says, it's a real thing. That's why you got to take it in cycles. Don't make it your life. Odds are we're all gonna die with probably not knowing that much more, but hopefully some more. But some people make it their life, and if you make it your life and you go too hard, you definitely will get burned out. I feel like, for sure. What about you?
Well said.
Have you ever been burned out by UFO? Have you been burned by the UFO community?
I've never been. No, I've been able to fly under the radar pretty much unnoticed for a long time, and I appreciate my.
That's the best way to be.
You know what I mean? Very few people look into me. No one's accused me of being part of a right-wing conspiracy. I've only interviewed the QAnon shaman once. You know, so I mean, it's been easy going. I think the burnout's real. Any rabbit hole you get into where you feel like you have to tell people about it, like, you know, your friends, like you're like, oh,
Great
guess
point.
you know, that's when you start to. That's when you're setting yourself up for burnout right then, right? Because, you know, I mean, like, you just there's a very small chance that what you're talking about is going to really take hold. Even when I was looking into the electric universe stuff, I knew that it was years down the road. But I'm always seeing new people talk about it, and so I'm pumped, and I think it's a real deal. So, but even then I knew, like, I couldn't just sit here and harp on it all day, every day. Now Burchett finds himself in the public eye, and he's talking about this stuff, and so he's constantly going to be asked about it, and he looks like he's over it. Let's play the clip.
Congressman Tim Burchett, he attended that classified
Look at his
briefing.
face. Yeah, he looks
Congressman,
pissed.
Great to see you and talk with you as always. Thanks for being back with us here on the Hill.
Wager on how echoey his voice is. What do you think? Is it going to be super duper echoey? Are they gonna figure this out? Here we go.
Fairly echoey.
I'm going to say maybe they cut it out. Maybe they got some new technology on this.
So it's classified. I know you can't get into details. We get that. We understand it. But after being in that briefing, and now you're out of it, were you satisfied with what you heard?
No, it's always compartmentalized.
Sounds great.
You can't get to certain things. It's, you know, I don't really think that these people are lying. I think there's a lot of arrogance that kind of whirls around this so-called intelligence community. But what they do is they've compartmentalized it so that each department, they can only answer your question up to a certain point, and you can't get everybody in the skiff at the same time to answer the question. So no, I mean, I was almost falling asleep.
The jellyfish
in the meeting. It was just so mundane and boring, and a lot of.
What is that though? What is that? That's so strange.
Chat, what do you guys think of the jellyfish? We weren't doing the show live when this all dropped. Were y'all? I don't know, bro. What I will say is I think Jeremy Corbell had access to this RSpace server that we're hearing this Jason Sands guy talk about, and all these, like,
you asked him about the server. You asked Jason Sands.
Yeah, and it sounds like somebody was feeding Corbell because that server that Jason Sands talked about. It sounds like there was. First of all, you had to have a clearance. You had to have some knowledge of UFOs. You had to be in the military or government or the IC. And also a bunch of UAPTF members were in there. Oh, Sean Patrick for the show. Hell yeah, dude.
It's Balloon. Oh, Lord.
It's Balloon. Hell yeah, Sean. Glad you're here.
That's the hard work we expect from KP. Oh, Lord. For sure. Oh.
My Cav Scout buddy, Boy Scout buddy, deployed to Iraq, who operated the same camera the jellyfish was caught on, and said that ish was weird. Yeah, remember the bird poop stain? That was funny. That people ran with that for a little bit. But yeah, I guess
I really thought when I saw that, like, I know that I'm like at least a level 2 susceptible. Like, you know what I mean? If someone presents something in a convincing argument, I might be like, okay, maybe I'll consider it. And when I saw the bird poop thing, I was like, holy shit, that's exactly what that looked like. But of course, there was that really awesome GIF that someone put out. I think even UAP Mike shared it.
I think it was Think Tank, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Think Tank. Couldn't be a more stand-up guy than you and Red. But the jellyfish thing, dude, like, it really did. It turns. This is a solid object. It's not made up of a bunch of different balloon parts, which I found out that, you know, that balloon image they shared of the jellyfish UFO was like not even a real balloon image. It was like a AI amalgamation of balloons made in the shape of that.
Wow.
And I feel like we're more easily debunked than we are convinced of a UFO. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're more skeptical of the UFO footage, but when we see a half-ass debunk, we're so easily swayed by it. And like, yeah, let's forget it.
Yeah.
But
let's join in. Let's pile on.
Let's pile on. Let's do the dance.
One of the things they told us, they explained some things that went on that were just like, okay, well then why are you having to tell us this in the skiff? Why can't you tell the American public that? And it's just
So do you think all
complete disinformation. Go ahead.
Do you think your time spent on this, because there's a lot of time that you and the rest of the UAP caucus have spent to try to get answers, and every time I speak with you, Congressman, when you go to these classified briefings, you walk out and you're disappointed. And I wonder if you think that this is a waste of time. Do you feel that there's a cover-up going on, something in between? What is it?
Yeah, I think there's a cover-up. There's tens of millions of dollars that we spend investigating these things. We've had departments tell us that they have recovery units, but yet they won't release full reports.
They've had departments tell them that there were recovery units.
That's a pretty big drop.
Of course, we're talking about crash retrievals, right?
I think it has to be, right, in that context. I'm sure there's a way to argue that that's not what he meant, but I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
And while we're reading between the lines, I think it's important to notice that there are telltale signs that Luna is not present today, because she would not let Burchett go out with his hair like that. And so if we're, trying to figure out clues, then we got to figure it out, dude.
Things.
I mean, that's get a comb. No,
covered up.
I'd be so mad, dude. If I
his eye, he's squinting a lot too. Not trying to be hyper.
No, there's a bright ass light in his face.
Oh, okay.
That's why he looks all evenly. There's a bright light on this camera, and he's staring into the sun, trying to get it.
Your reports look like somebody shot it with a 12-gauge shotgun. So of course I think there's a cover-up. What it is, I don't know. I've said many times, it's not about the little green men or the flying saucers. It's about what the heck are they spending all this dadgum money on, and why won't they release it? That's the real questions that need to be asked.
Dadgum money.
Until we have a commander-in-chief that'll release them, I don't think we're going to get them.
Why do you think there's a cover-up?
A lot of reasons.
A lot of
just
raisins.
Told you 5.
he gave him so many raisins just then. There's there's so many, dude.
If you say it is extraterrestrial, there's a lot of money to be made from somebody else's technology that you don't have to spend any money to get. And there might be the fact they don't understand what's going on, and there might be the fact that it's just plain arrogance, and they don't think we deserve it. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with high-ranking officials that have told me that America really can't handle this stuff, Congressman. We really just need to be real careful about it. And it's not their position to tell me who or what I can handle. We're Americans. We ought to be able to take it. Give it to us. I'm tired of it.
Real quick, Congressman, what's next?
Well, hopefully we'll have some hearings about this. They're just trying to run the clock out, which we said they were going to do, and we'll keep, as long as some of us are still in Congress, they don't run us off. We'll continue trying to get the answers. And look, I just want transparency. That's what you and the media ought to ask for. That's what the taxpayers should ask for. Just give me some dadgum transparency.
Congressman Tim Burchett, UAP caucus. We got to leave it there. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you again soon.
That's good, though. More field hearings.
Yeah, the field hearings. I remember when those were the big deal, dude.
No, I'm honestly, I said that kind of sarcastically. I actually mean that. That's good. But they're trying to wear him out. And remember, there was something about people financing his opponent and stuff. If you're the secret keepers, right, quote unquote hypothetical, and you have all this money, you just gotta wear them out till they all get UFO fatigue, right? I mean, you never hear from Gillibrand anymore, right? Yeah.
It's like that. It's an endurance race, dude. It sucks in that sense. It really does to see so many people get burnt out on it. But yeah,
as Lou Elizondo said, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Damn.
And then I said I sprint marathons. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hard. That's a bar. That's a bar right there. Guys, in the chat, give us a 1 if you need Red to write a rap song and we need it to be produced AI, or you can just go ahead and do it off the top. But
hit me with the beat right now.
I think it needs to happen. I'm actually loading in a new beat. That's so funny. I like trying out things live. So what we're going to listen to now is the song for this new segment, which is it's a repeat of an old segment. But it's the UFO clip of the day. Let's see what we can hear. Oh, damn, it's quiet. Okay, let me crank the volume up, and then we'll get into it. Here we go. Here we go.
All the way up.
Maybe this is too turnt. Maybe it's not.
Shit, you know what it is. UFO clip of the day, y'all up in this shit.
Okay. Okay, I think it's good. It really turned the party up. What do you guys think? We got pizza. Okay, hell yeah. There we go. People want you to write a rap song, Red. It's going to happen. I see ones in the chat all the way through. All the way through. Guys, I've played this clip before. It keeps coming back around again. It's for the people of the sun. It is this video. Now, this is spotted in 3 different states at 3 different times. One was in Arizona, at that rich, I forget, the really nice area of Arizona. One of them was in Illinois or Delaware, and then this one here. And basically what it is constantly is looks like a worm, a glowing worm in the sky. Take a look at this.
Yo, I love the getting out of the car cam. You don't see these often.
You really don't. This is like pure found footage, right? Okay, because of the shitty or shoddy camera work here.
What is it? Oh shit, it's coming down.
So this is the 3rd one I think I saw that exists that's out there. Skyfire has a great thread on it, but like you can't really see the size of it. You can't ascertain the size. But watch what happens, and it kind of gets to a point where you can figure out how big it is or small it is, because it's not just out there in the distance. Okay, it's moving. It's clearly undulating, and it's at a very steady, slow speed. It's not dropping. It's not acting crazy. It doesn't seem to be suspended from a drone.
Really close. About to drop my car, man.
Okay, reflection on the water. Now we know that this thing is literally right there.
Wow.
Is it in front of the trees or behind the trees?
This is the best one yet.
It's crazy. It's in front of the trees. Okay, this thing is meters away from this guy. Meters away. Dimitri in the comments. Okay, look at it, goes in the water. Did you see Dimitri in the comments?
Would you like to just address that really quick?
I'm getting cooked here. No, Tuba, do you have a problem with Jews? No. I love the Jewish people. I have Jewish heritage. Solid Jewish heritage. Traceable Jewish heritage.
Darthman Bookford says hologram.
Ooh.
Look at
the Jews? Hologram?
On,
No,
guys, look at, oh, of course the focus is bad right now.
Look at this. Out of the water.
What do you think it's doing in the water? It's like needing some energy or some resource or something.
Well, my mind is like super into the I'll go all the crazy ways. I'm like, this must be an aquatic creature that has become airborne, and like we don't know about it, but it does. But you know, it does do this. Maybe it's around. And
does it get fully submerged?
Dude, look at this.
It's like at least.
It's like 90% in.
Part of it's in the water, right? It's
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
like doing a snake.
And it's very tightly controlled. Like if let's say this was being suspended from a drone way up high, that's a lot of control. There's no wind. It's not like it's not swaying around. You know what I mean? There's not this weird tug. It barely made any kind of motion in the water.
What the hell are we looking at, bro? It's vape. We would love to have you, Sean.
Sean, come on to Skyfire News.
We're actually probably your biggest ally in the believer community.
I mean, we've had your back since the
NASA hearing.
since NASA, dog. Like,
That dude's in his window watching it too.
I think we should play the song in the background.
Oh, and look it's all the way back up now. Hold up,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
All the way up.
Wow, this is fascinating.
But look, it goes back. Believe it or not, it goes back down in the water.
No, it does not. Find it back.
I did 90s movie rap.
These are the roll credits. Oh, shit.
Oh no, it's gone. Goes again. Oh, what a cool thing! What a cool thing.
Jarvis Bookfart says it's 90% in. My wife. Got him. Hey, Ocean says electric. Nope.
Sorry, that's the only reaction. That's the only reaction clip we have. What did Ocean say? Ocean, my bad.
Electric rope slurping up water. UAP Mike says I'm coming. Oh, did you send him the link?
I think I posted it. I posted it in the chat.
Oh hell yeah! But honestly, I like as much as we're trolling, I literally have no idea what the hell this thing is.
No idea, guys. It's hard for us to say. What it looks like is it could be a rogue candle from Gary Nolan's cake, but we don't know. It could be anything. You know, it'd be really funny is if it was like Matt Ford just dangling a light up dildo from a drone. This is a big setup, is what I'm getting at. It'd be really funny. Totally DMX vibe, yeah.
I'm just gonna knock me. Sorry. Sometimes it's like I feel like the funniest thing is if I just like don't even react to your joke. Like it just makes it fun. Like 10 times
It's way
funnier.
funnier. It's way funnier,
right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Dude, Sean KP is really in the mix. I was gaslit by Twitter little shits. Bitter, dude. He was gaslit. Sean, come on the show. We need you here. Speaking of needing people here, we got the one, the only
Whistleblower UAP Mike. Let's go. What up, Mike? What do you think of this? Have you seen these?
Yeah, I've seen this. I thought it was possibly like a balloon with a lit up string going down, right? Or a weird fishing line.
But you've seen that there's
way
multiple
up?
of these from like a bunch of states, right?
Scottsdale, Arizona. There's one.
Sorry, I had feedback.
Oh, you're good. I'll find the one in Scottsdale.
I don't know. It looks like a balloon, like something deflating very slowly. I don't know. It
Zelda
doesn't
says-
look authentic.
The rest of it dangles from the top part, which seems static. It definitely looks submerged. I don't know. I'm gonna say weird until proven otherwise. It's not
I'll
as
back
high
that
as
up.
it looks. Drone fishing is actually a big thing. Oh, okay. All right. I'm open to this. Drone fishing. Okay. Maybe it is. I like that prosaic explanation.
Okay. They're not looking up.
I see Oceans talking about that cast the line thing, and that's what I thought too initially. But the drone thing also makes sense.
A combination of both. Wow.
I would need to see. You know what? I'm gonna look this. I'm gonna just YouTube or Google this shit. If there's a drone fishing lure.
Yeah, and while you do that, I'm actually curious, Mike. I saw you in the chat talking about this. This has been a topic of discussion lately. What is your take on Richard Doty coming into the community, engaging with the community more, speaking in spaces?
Are we talking about Doty?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
His rehabilitation.
I was the one. I think it's going to turn ugly. I don't think it's going to turn out good.
What's your prediction then? Where does this go?
I think it's going to corrupt him. Space power. Space is power. He's going to be like a mad king. He's going to whip these. He's going to have like these people whipped up into a frenzy. Like if we thought like Agent Meatball was bad, like this guy, he's going to be on another level. Like when he gets people going, if people really start listening to him, right, and he's in spaces like, and nobody can check him, right? Like he can control an entire space of what gets said, and people, unsuspecting people, could come to him, and he could just say whatever. And and people won't have a reference to be like, is this guy? And I'm not saying like he's a liar all the time, but I definitely don't trust him. I think he needs to have someone there to like balance out.
And do you think Eric is the right choice of? That is one of the weird things that Eric, of all people, is his handler. Who I like Eric, he's chill, but it's like that's not who I would expect to be like.
I like
Eric,
but I don't know. I don't know that his proximity to Doty is productive for the community. Maybe he wants to do something for Doty. I think, right? And
it was funny. Estimate did point out this line when Doty said this line that Anjali was thoroughly vetted by Gaia. Thoroughly vetted by Gaia. I like
BLM
Anjali.
comment up here. Like, who the hell put that up there?
Oh wait, I didn't even read this out and I put it up. Let me see.
Disregard
Disregard.
anything this
Yeah.
guy says.
Agree with UAP. Mike says Super Water 78. Yuva Hunter says Doty might be going to hell after this life. Wow.
That's a message brought to you by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
Mormons
Saints.
believe in hell?
Yeah, they actually believe in it so much they like pray for the souls of like non-Mormons, right?
Baptisms for the dead.
Wasn't that a scandal in like the 90s or something like that? They were praying for a lot of Jewish like Holocaust people.
Well, how they used to do it is they used to actually exhume the bodies in the middle of the night, in the dead of night, and then they would bring them into their temples, and then some of them would come back alive. So it was a whole thing. But now, since they got caught on, they just do it. They have stand-ins, so they have proxies, and then you can like volunteer to basically go in the temple and be baptized in the name of somebody else. That basically is a name I think pulled from the obituary. It's a whole deal. And when they do it in the stone tub that's on the back of like I think it's 7 or 12 stone oxen. So there's that. I'm not joking. It looks insane. It looks insane. It looks like something you'd see in the
What? What the?
Yes. Yeah.
Do we have the conspiracy of the day thing still here or no?
I played it for the electric sun or whatever. But here, let's go. You want me to play it again? You got another conspiracy?
I got another
for us?
conspiracy for us to react.
It's time for the conspiracy of the day.
All right, did y'all see this about the guy with the Area 51 website? This happened, like, I think over the weekend. I'll just react to it. Let's see.
Naturalized citizen Jorg Arnu caught Area 51 fever 26 years ago. For 2 decades, his website, dreamlandresorts.com, has been a digital gathering place for aerospace enthusiasts, aviation watchers, and some who've worked at the best-known secret base in the world. Participants swap.
Pause. I love when UFO websites look like this.
That's the best.
Like when they're still in like 1998 and you're
Yes.
just clicking on like PDFs and some of them are dead, but some of them are like some weird write-up from like 1996.
Posted by like Yahoo, Netscape.
Look at this. Like, see this? Look at the left. Like, I love sites like this.
Yo, those are the helicopters, boys.
What do you mean the recovery helicopters?
Well,
the harassment helicopters,
harassment
right?
ones.
Which Doty said even recently too that they were filming something around Area 51 and they got the helicopters sent on them and
Yeah,
they were
he
messing
says
with.
they've got footage of it too, right? So I want to see that footage.
Will that win you over a little bit?
No.
Okay.
And make educated guesses about what's going on out there in the Nevada desert. By now, the world knows about some of the projects that were born at the Groom Lake facility, the U-2 spy plane, early versions of the Blackbirds, then the F-117 Nighthawks, and stealth helicopters. Jorg Arnu's readers get occasional hints about odd objects zipping through the skies, but big secrets can and are being kept.
Look at some of the exotic planes like the Tacit Blue that was developed in total secrecy. It was flown in secrecy. Then all of a sudden they put it in a museum and said, yeah, we had this for a while.
But too much secrecy can sometimes backfire. Area 51 was obscure, largely unknown in the 1980s when the Air Force illegally seized 89,000 acres of public land around the base to hide something.
Actually 9 flying saucers,
In 1989, KLAS-TV put the base on the map for good, with allegations that alien technology might be stashed out there. The designation for area...
Pause real quick. I just want to ask the chat, and Mike, I don't know if you could hear us still. Where's the chat on Bob Lazar? Real quick, before we continue. Where do you feel, Mike, about Bob Lazar? Tupa, what are your thoughts?
I think
You want to go first?
I believe, like, you know, I believe him a little bit. I think he thinks he saw something. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the things that he did say, a lot of it's like he's been very consistent, and like now it kind of makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like but he's dropped some nuggets that are still my favorite, which are that like at least one of the crafts was found in an archaeological dig. Like a long time ago, and I thought that's like really interesting. So like there's stuff that he says that's so interesting I want to believe it, and so I'm not going to shut the guy up. I'll talk to him, but I need to see more evidence to be like all in on Lazar. That's how I feel.
Mike?
I think it's a very complicated story. I think he was on base. I think he saw spaceships. I think they pumped him full of misinformation. I think part of the reason why they did that is because they wanted to get to John Lear. And I think part of the reason was to show him the number of ships. They wanted him to talk about the number of craft that they had, right? Like, why else would they have all these hangar doors open for him to get a good look at all this? So I think the point was they wanted him to talk about how many. And I think they wanted that to get back to the Russians, because that's who they were suspecting John Lear was talking to, or, you know, a Russian agent. And they figured they could do it. But I think what happened was Lazar went rogue too early. So
That's a good take. I like what we've talked about this too, Mike, where I like the Grant Cameron take, where it's like, if his story's true, it's like what you're saying. They kind of wanted him to get out this info, because if you look at the timelines, first of all, he already knew Gene Huff and John Lear, and anybody working on something like this, they would have known that you knew these guys because they were putting out like public access TV shows about UFOs. They had blogs and like newsletters about UFOs. And then, yeah, even from Lazar's own story, like you said, like day one, they're showing him all this stuff and briefing him and all this stuff that honestly doesn't check out. The whole thing about his background and stuff, to me, like that makes a lot of sense. Like, and when people are like, oh, the intel agencies, they wouldn't hire someone who like has a brothel and like secret cameras. It's like, actually, it's kind of like a win-win for them. They're always intermingling with like unsavory characters, right? Like, so on that front, yeah, I don't know. Still interesting story. I think a lot of the disclosure pushers even believe it, right? Like, didn't Tom DeLonge put out his autobiography or whatever? You remember that? You ever read that?
I didn't read it, but I remember TTSA put it out. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is, and Knapp still to this day, right? He's all in on it, and yeah, pretty.
Dude, what's up with Project Gravatar?
That looks really cool. That's that 3D like walk around of S4.
Oh, is that new movie that they're making with him? That where he's like driving around in like a DeLorean in the desert and stuff?
Yeah,
now?
the promo work has been all like that shit, right? But
let's watch the trailer of that after this. I mean, it was cool promo work. I mean, people were like, another Lazar movie. But yeah, let's just finish.
And KLAS TV put the base on the map for good, with allegations that alien technology might be stashed out there. The designation for Area 51 suddenly disappeared from maps. The government stopped acknowledging it even had a base out there. Too much secrecy only fueled more public interest. Tens of thousands of people have made the trek to the desert to check it out. In the early 2000s, an Area 51 watchdog named Chuck Clark revealed to us the military had hidden sensor systems on public land, miles outside the boundaries, to warn the base of anyone approaching. Clark's Rachel home was then raided by the Joint Terrorism Task Force, a harbinger of what later happened to Jorg Arnu, whose homes in Rachel and Las Vegas were targeted by federal agents in late 2022, with he and his girlfriend, Linda Hello, held at gunpoint, presumably for something that appeared on his website, though he's never been told what he did that crossed the line.
What exactly am I accused of? You're treating me like a hardened criminal, like a terrorist. When they came in here, they asked me, are there any booby traps in my house? I said, booby traps? What are you expecting?
Arnu agrees the military needs a place to test secret technology. When 2 million people vowed to storm Area 51 back in 2019, he led the opposition to the event. But when he sees things from public lands, he takes note. Arnu says the recently revealed B-21 Raider had some of its systems tested in the Nevada skies, long before the public knew it existed. He thinks the rumors about a successor to the SR-71 spy plane are likely true, but doesn't know if the new version is actually called SR-72. The main focus these days, he suspects, drones, unmanned warplanes, and jamming tech.
That's one of the big things out there. They are flying drones, obviously. The Russians, Chinese work on stuff to jam our drones. We work on stuff to jam their drones. Then the next step is, how do we make the drone communication so secure that jamming is not effective anymore?
The public isn't likely to see much of this, though. Arnu says Area 51 has its own Area 51, an inaccessible valley north of Groom Lake that can be seen, but only if you have your own satellite.
The really secret stuff, I mean, they have a whole empty valley just north of Groom Lake, and they have the mountain range where they can pretty much play with anything they want. Nobody can see it.
It's booming out there.
Oh, yeah. Area 51 is not going anywhere.
George Knapp, 8 News Now.
Now you can.
Uh-oh. There you go. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
Sick accent, too.
I mean, you can't blame the government, right? For like trying to keep stuff secure and whatnot. Yeah, I guess my camera's dead.
But under what circumstance? You know, I mean, they abuse that secrecy all the time.
Yeah, and to not tell them what exactly they were like doing that weird warrant for, that's pretty sketch, no doubt. That's like an abuse of whatchamacallit. But like, yeah, they're developing those drones. I mean, to bring it back to Doty, right? Like, the drone stuff is super, super secure, and like with the future of like war fighting and stuff. And the whole reason Benowitz even got Benowitzed, right, in the late 70s, early 80s, was because he had stumbled upon this drone program, much like a way like this dude we just saw, this Agnew guy or whatever. You know what I mean? Very much similar situation to this guy, just happened to live near the base and like filming stuff. So I don't know.
No, that's true. There are a lot of similarities there. He just happens to be in the wrong place, wrong time. Government trying to lock that down, dude. How many people do you think it happened often where they and this is going to be dark, but they had to kind of off somebody who had seen something?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, we all assume
they don't. I don't think
darkness.
they do it on. It's not like on site, right? I think it's more like they get them later. But then maybe I don't know. You know, we've heard about possible crash retrieval teams like showing up and shooting each other, right? Like that sounds like sometimes people killing each other over confusion around covering these things up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this Lazar trailer real quick.
My favorite thing about that Lazar trailer is, well, not the trailer. I've listened to the guy who's making, I forget his name. I've heard him in a couple of interviews. And the most fascinating thing about that crap that I heard him talk about on the inside was the reactor. And so you know how that reactor sits in the center of the spaceship, right? And like you've seen pictures of it. It's got like a little half dome over it. Well, apparently the thing you pull it down from the ceiling of the UFO to like close it, you pull it and it just like more material just comes down from the ceiling. Like, you know how a periscope has those like, I don't know how to describe them, like hydraulic things looking? Yeah, no, not that UFO. They straight pull the thing down and just more material just comes out of the top.
Huh, interesting. And you found it too, but cool. So I'm not going to look for it anymore. Great. What's it called? So it's Project Gravitron?
That's it. Yo, you see it? Wait, go back. So you see that pole right there?
Yeah, yeah.
He's saying when you pull that thing down, material just like comes out of the ceiling, just more of it, and they don't know how.
Oh wow! Yeah, just go through this whole site. We'll close with this. I think we're pretty much done for the day, but this is cool.
Dude, yeah, let me hit up their site real fast. I want to, let's see, we're here.
Also, I love this background. The colors
sick, right?
of the balloons. Yeah, it looks so cool. Very, very cool, Kanye.
It's cool to be able to make that in Midjourney and just ask, like, I need a cake at a nightclub, and that's what I need. All right, here's their website.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Project Gravatar. Watch the teaser trailer. Might as well start there. Watch on YouTube. Son of a... Oh, here.
There's really no way I can prove it without revealing my identity and getting myself into more trouble than I have already.
Exactly what's going on up there?
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs that are out there of extraterrestrial origin, and they're basically being dismantled. Some are, well, in various stages of completion, built from other parts, and they're being test flown and basically just analyzed.
I was 29 years old, working on the most incredible project in the history of the world. No one has ever been able to show exactly what I saw with my own eyes, until now. Let's travel back in time to December of 1988 when this all started.
MJ12 on the license plate, you see that? It's kind of like, what the hell is the point? But also, I'm like, that's cool.
I mean, it's cool, but you're totally right. What's the point? Like, by the time they got to the 4th drum roll, the like, dude, it's like, let's get over it, dude. What are we doing here?
Your channel isn't monetized, right? So I could play. I'm gonna play something with a little bit of copyright music right now. This is from my friend Moran Lerner. I don't know if you ever saw this.
Oh, this is gonna be the. Oh my God.
Martin Scorsese presents Bob Lazar.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see what Moran Lerner was thinking on this one, dude.
Ever since I could remember, I wanted to be a gangster.
We have a lineup and all the girls come out and then he picks which one he likes.
In a legal brothel. Those early days in Vegas were some of the best times of my life. We lived like kings and didn't have a care in the world.
That interest eventually led to some work he did for a small bordello in a residential Las Vegas neighborhood.
We did what we wanted to do, when we wanted to do it, and however we wanted. And although dealing with prostitutes and Johns could be difficult, they were easy work compared to what was to come. There's several, actually 9 flying saucers.
When you add it all up, Lazar says he target to discredit.
A group of Hell's Angels bikers showing up as spectators at the federal district court.
It's obvious it's very difficult to get information on Mr. Lazar.
Of which the most easily verifiable was my early 1980s job here at the Los Alamos Mason Physics Facility in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Be special in Japan.
And I get people telling me, well, I don't see why you don't believe him. He seems so sincere. Sincerity is not a check on truth.
A-Rod and I are going to go out on a search and destroy mission trying to find those enemies of you that are...
And if I ask you on camera, do you know Bob Lazar, can you just say no? I will sit silently.
How big is this cast?
Based upon the concept of the Marshall Way.
How big is this cast, dog? Joe Rogan's in it.
To a talk show.
Jesus Christ.
That's what we gotta do.
Not
looking for a handout.
That was not it.
Oh my God.
But I think it would be sick. If anyone to do a Bob Lazar movie, I'd want it to be Martin Scorsese.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Dude, look at this. How it started. Okay. So it started like with these graphics. And it goes how it's going. So like wireframe graphics. But this is the device you're
Honestly,
talking about, right,
that's
Mike?
cool though that they did it like that.
I'm gonna let him have it.
Oh,
I have
that's
this on,
kinda cool.
I have this on my website. I had to code that. Okay, so here we go.
I'm gonna be more critical of your art next time I'm on your stream.
Say what?
I'm going to be more critical of your art next time I'm on your stream now.
Please do. Please do. I mean, give it to me. That's how we get better. Although I will say that it looks slick, dude. Like this VR experience, TBD. I need to know when that's going to happen. The documentary, they're saying, when does it come out? This year. Best of luck to him. Best of luck to him. Updates. See our progress here.
You think Corbell's involved with this at all or no?
Distribute.
Maybe he did an introduction.
Yes. Yeah.
Could have done an introduction.
Okay, introduction. I think he has a producer credit. What do you guys think? I think he gets a producer credit.
Maybe he gets a special thanks.
Oh, we got Darren coming in. Darren, if Mike isn't getting paid for being a member of Skyfire News, all one word, by the way, trademarked, he is getting ripped off. He's on more. Oh,
I'm on the
Dan
stream.
Panda
Wait.
is. There we go.
Wait, Darren is in the chat.
Yes.
And if he's not getting paid to be in the chat, then he's getting ripped off.
Darren, are you getting ripped off? Darren, say it ain't so, dude.
What do you guys think of this weird Darren Lou Reviews alliance that's like forming, where they're like gassing each other up and stuff?
I really hate it. I mean, I like alliances, actually. You know what I mean? Let that ride. But Darren, you know, he doesn't need more platforms. What's going on over there?
And Lou Reviews and KMF teaming up now against Mike. I don't know if you caught his stream earlier today. It was wild. He admitted on the air, whistleblower Lou, that he was the one whose idea it was to call KMF's work, which I found pretty interesting.
Oh my God, you're right.
Wait, what?
Lou Reviews says that he knows who called KMF's mom and that he suggested it. And for those who, I don't want to dox, I'm just saying, like, there's been some lines blurred by these guys because they're saying that they're docs, when in reality what happened is that KMF works for his mom, dude. Like, he works for his mom. He works for a family company. So if you wanted to like say
lives with his mom.
So like, if you were going to show a picture of him at work, like, you know what I mean? Then it's his family as well. Like the dude, like, so we're talking silver spoon status. The whole thing is fucking weird. But like, that's where he's getting the thing where like whatever that his family got doxxed. But then Uplifting came into Spaces yesterday or the day before and said that I had shared pictures of KMF's dad. Fucking bullshit. Said provide receipts, and he hasn't shown shit. Hasn't shown a fucking thing, dude. Crazy. I hate this shit.
He said 20 minutes. I heard him in that space say, "Give me 20 minutes. I'll get pictures of it."
That's what he said.
We're well over 20 minutes. We're 24 plus hours later, buddy.
Where is it? It's crazy. And they have this whole narrative about what happened. Bananas. Those guys need to. I could talk about that shit all day, dude. Those guys are crazy. But yeah, your drops are getting juicy. Big names coming up, and a lot of like of the gaslighting is going away. You know what I mean? Now everyone knows it's real, and it's just kind of sad. Oh, I would love to have a conversation with Klaus and Ray on Skyfire News. I would too. I would love to talk with them.
Same. Klaus can't. He won't come out and talk. Just even a conversation. He's afraid because I think he'll get too emotional to have. That's really. He's a child. He's not a man. He can't have a face-to-face conversation with anyone. He's got to hide behind a keyboard. He's got to go to other platforms. He's got to deactivate his account. He's a coward. Come talk to any of them because he won't, because he knows what he's allowed to happen. He is the guiltiest. He doesn't want to talk. He can't talk.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of guilty, Darren, you should come in here too, but be truthful. Darren's a liar. Darren, unlock you account, Mike. What are you scared
I love it.
of?
I love the more they ask me, the more I'm never gonna do it.
I love it
so
too,
awesome.
actually.
The cope about me unlocking my account is fucking amazing. I will forever. I'll keep reactivating it long enough so
Just
that
so
I can keep it, just so they can keep asking. It's so good. I love it.
We've heard all of them come forward and be like, they all try and like start talking to you normally, and then before you know it, they're trying to bait you into like, oh yeah, we'll just reopen your account. Then Mike, Dandy, Darren, KMF, Lou reviews now. They're all on the like.
Open your account.
Oh, this is the best one. Coward. Darren, it takes more courage to stand up for what you believe in, even in the face of your friends' disapproval. So you suck, Darren. Darren, you're a coward. You blamed all your issues on your ex-wife, and you suck. You called CPS on a mom just because she was my friend, and that's fucking trash. And you got to live with that for the rest of your life. And we're
Then
gonna
he
make
taunted her.
dude. Then he
taunted the girl.
Then he taunted her.
He's like,
And-
did CPS show up at your house yet? I called them. You're like, what kind of evil person like goes out there and then taunts a woman about breaking up their family? That is some like bad juju, right? Like you're gonna get like evil karma from that.
Yeah, and he said that he was like painting a basement with his ex-wife. He's changed his story so many times.
Facts now, my shingles are flaring. Birds were great, but there is no comparing to the shame it must feel like to simply be daring. Read, oh Lord, why did you make Darren read? Darren used his ex-wife to execute a plan to remove the children from a woman who dared to take a stand. Something she believed in. Let me tell you something I believe in.
That's like that's rock and
I'm
roll.
trying to
right
find the clip of where he said he called Bill Frick's mom, but he also did. I found this part because it's not transcribed yet.
Oh hell yes!
He did admit to pulling a Darcy Weir about us and telling multiple people to like watch out for us and that we're trouble and blah blah blah.
Yes. I like
There
when
you
he
go.
admits it. He's like, "Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it."
I have a feeling more is going to come out.
Also, his whole
have a
video is
feeling
reacting
more.
to the King Milkfart harassment archive, which he loves to shit on, but then always plays it.
Oh boy, prediction of the year.
I know
people are looking into things.
A NASA
Ooh.
security team is actively addressing this issue.
Just like I said with Tupa, I'm saying it here now. Like, I don't think this is over. And just like I'm saying with Tupa and King Milfart, and especially Mike and RPK, same thing. I'm telling you now. And if I have sent some DMs out there to people that I respect, that I see putting out a lot of defense for those guys. And my simple advice is, look, I like you. I care about you. I'm telling you this because I've seen it now. This is the third time. I'm telling you, this is not going to end in a place where you're going to be happy with it.
So thanks for that, Lou.
Lou,
I never did that for Lou.
Lou's such a fucking pathetic piece of shit, dude. I'm
People
sorry. I'm
hate
sorry.
to see us happy.
I know. Like I'm
People
gonna have to
can't
watch
see
this
us
video
happy
later.
or winning or
But,
any
like,
of that. They need to just shit on it. Despite everything we've been through, they can't just be like.
They kicked me out of the YouTube chat today. I don't know if I mentioned that here.
Yes,
but, like,
that's bullshit, dude. They censored your. They censored it. I think that's bullshit, man. And like Lou reviews, bro. Like on this thing, like look what he's
his
doing.
graphics. He was making time, and it's taken.
Look what he's doing, dude. Like
People are
he's
telling him to calm
like-
down on certain people.
He's inceptioning himself.
Kind of like Nick told me that he told Milkfart to calm down on certain people.
That was Nick from Invisible Night School.
So I don't think you're involved in this thing,
The
but you can
elves,
see
dude.
why people like this would link you to shit like this, because behind the scenes, you're buddy with this guy.
That I am currently on the side of King Milkfart.
And that's
Look who was right there though with him, dude. But either way, yeah. I was trying to find the other thing, but I can't find it right now, and it's not transcribed. But he did. That was another drop. So he's been. Look, like I said, dude. Mike's been inspiring all these whistleblower, dude. Like we got whistleblower
you
Lou
like
reviews.
that?
up
You
here.
like how you like how he's like, I'm coming clean, guys. He wouldn't be doing anything
Yep.
unless I had done something
Yep.
wrong.
Yep.
Nothing.
Totally. Totally true.
Tupo, you wouldn't know, right? Like
Yep.
all of this is really important. Like, and he has more DMs that he should be showing.
Yes, he does.
I know he's colluding with other people right now as we speak. He is colluding with a ton of people.
He said right now that he's going behind the scenes to
Yes.
tell people not to interact with me and
Rick Doty knows.
He's a
Rick
fucking
Doty knows
schemer.
something about him. I'll tell you that.
He's
And
a
it's true.
schemer. Rick Doty knows, and you know who else? I've heard that from other people. I'm not going to say I've heard it from other people, but yeah, that Doty statement
John
was very
Ramirez said
interesting.
the same thing that Rick Doty said.
Okay, Brad's going to say it for sure. Okay, look at it. Darcy Weir was right. Panda wishes he could do what Darcy does. Panda, do you wish that you could call the podcasters and the media outlets of your enemies and make sure that like you shit talk them to everyone, dude? That's crazy. That's what Darcy does. I've heard from so many people that talk to Darcy that they were told about me and Red from Darcy, that Darcy calls. There's a lot of phone calls and DMs happening that are specifically built to dissuade other people from talking to other people. It's a narrative control like campaign.
Nicole Sackett
mechanism.
said the same thing about Darcy Weir recently in a speech. She was like, I heard Darcy Weir's been going around calling all these people behind the scenes, telling them not to mingle with me. It's like,
dude, could you imagine? Weird. Could you imagine being jealous of that and trying to do what Darcy Weir does? That's what he does. That's what he does. I think that's strange as shit, dude. Like that would never even happen in like the film community and shit. Like I've never seen anybody with that dedication. I've never seen anybody. Look at Darren's in here working for free, saying Skyfire Mike's volunteer of the year. Darren, you take the cake, bud. You take the fucking cake, dude. Of who's
here's Blue
volunteer.
Reviews refusing to play the full clip. He's like, he thinks he exposed us super hard over the weekend. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And also, like, those apologies you're flaunting from uplifting.
Wait, what clip? What are you talking about?
Because he's always like, you guys attack Chris for his vaccine status.
Well,
I guess we're doing
that's so pathetic. That's so pathetic, dude. Like the audacity to say such a thing in the face of the actual clip of what really happened, which was that. And I like Paranormal Chris. Don't get me wrong. I like him, and I do think that we should have shared this clip with them before publishing. I'll say that, and I think we've apologized to Chris for that profusely. But in this space, if you listen, Chris was very fucking aggressive, and you tried to calm it down. You tried to be like, no, it's all good, and he goes, no, fuck you. He said no, fuck. He escalated the whole thing from the fucking get go. But yeah, this is about the way he reacted for somebody else in the chat, not even a fucking to these questions. Go ahead.
It's always like the narrative just keeps shifting, right? Like
No.
I'd literally
wait. Let Chris respond. Go ahead.
So
Chris.
you got a top secret clearance working at the VA. Is that correct?
I think I was clear, right? And I explained
Okay.
why.
Okay. Well, now that I know you're at the VA and what you say about veterans online, and you've actually got a podcast up where you're downing veterans. I'm going to make sure the VA sees that. Because if veterans
No, Chris, let's not do that.
Chris, buddy.
No, shut the fuck up for one. Yep, not one of you in this lobby can tell. None of you are veterans. None of you are veterans. So if there's a guy on here that's
One at
sitting
a
here
time,
saying,
please.
no, if there's a guy on here that's downing veterans, and then they also work at the VA, you damn well. Why should any veteran have to sit there and have to listen to an Ashton Forbes or trust them with his information when he posts DMs online? So no, I guarantee you there's going to be something come from that.
Chris, wait.
Nope,
Chris,
nope.
can I ask for
Actions
more
have fucking
details?
consequences, and you're going to learn, Ashton. You're going to learn about it. Have a good night.
You got what you wanted, Chris. Good luck. buddy.
Wait, Ashton, wait. Chris, can I ask for more details what you're referring to?
No, you can't. You can't because he left.
What
you
are
don't
you even
believe their
talking
media is
about,
controlled
dude?
by media.
You're
That's
so
the main-
entrenched in conspiracy theory. It's so weird.
Oh, God.
Stick with facts. That's the problem with this whole
Listen.
community. Is nobody sticks to facts, and if it doesn't suit
Chris,
your
what
narrative,
facts do you
you're gonna
have?
make some kind of conspiracy theory and say it's a psyop.
Okay, what facts
How
do
do you get through how do you get through life every day when you think everything's a psyop that doesn't fit your narrative? How do you accomplish daily tasks?
That's a
every day?
demeaning.
Chris,
That's
hey, Chris,
demeaning.
you got vaccinated, didn't you?
It's
What?
tit for tat. Now it's
You
tit
got
for tat.
vaccinated, didn't you?
Why are we talking about vaccination?
Well,
Now
because
he's
I know you
indignant.
did, because I know your type, and that's my point.
Dude,
Chris,
you just
did
said.
you get
You
vaccinated?
just said.
Can we just get an answer though?
I know you want to, but
Get
I don't
everybody else
want
on the
to.
record. I want to get him on the record. Chris, what's your answer? You don't have to answer. You can say you don't want to answer, but what is your answer?
So why is somebody in the medical field with the VA asking me my vaccination?
Yeah, that. Can I say something?
We already know what it
That's
is.
a HIPAA violation.
Is that
Yo,
Mike?
Pause it. Yeah,
Okay.
that is super inappropriate. Asking
Agreed.
For
Agreed.
him to be disclosing his vaccine status.
Agreed. Yeah,
I agree, and we disavow it here in this clip, but that Lou never plays the end of. And Investigating Earth shouts at them. I don't hate them by any means. I think you're allowed to ask that, right? I can see where he's coming from. I don't care.
Yeah,
by
no,
the time,
it's
by
not
the
a
time
HIPAA
he asked,
violation to ask that.
by the
it's
time he
very
asked him,
inappropriate.
by the time he asked him, it was clear that it was a tit for tat because Chris had already said, like, how do you get through daily life with believing in every conspiracy? Like, it's just a whole deal. You know what I mean? Like, there was already this tension in the air. So and then when he asked the question, that's when Chris recoiled and was like, oh my God, how dare you? Now he's in a how dare you after being like, you're going to learn, I'm going to call, I'm going to get you fired. Like, and then my apologies earlier. I said, he said, fuck you. He didn't. He said, shut the fuck up. That's what he said. So I apologize for that. I retract that. He said, shut the fuck up. When you're like, oh, let's not do that. You know what I mean? And he's like,
Which is my hard line, right? I'm like, dude, let's not.
He just
I
got
don't care who you are. Let's not involve jobs.
Dude, that's
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Well, it's just the idea that you're gonna yield the power because you have disagreed with someone online. So you're gonna take it to the next level, and you're gonna be like, oh, this dude was downing veterans. Take a look at this. It's
And to
like,
Chris's credit, he says he didn't go through with that, and I feel for him where he's like, your worst moment being clipped like that, but it was a story. Like you did
Dude,
say you
but-
were.
And when he said I didn't go through with it, he said it in a way that was like duh, idiot. I didn't go through. It's like, how will we know? You said for sure. You left the thing being like, I promise you they're gonna find. Like he's like making hard line statements that he's gonna do it. There's no way for us to know if he did or didn't. The fact is that he put that in the air. He was very aggressive, and then when he got not pushback, but when someone came at him with some other shit, which I think is inappropriate at the very least, and this is what's said in the space. I don't know if you have that in the clip, but it was like, hey, I remember saying this specifically, like. It's not cool to. We've never judged anybody by their vaccination status ever. It's never come up on our end ever. It's not how I would ever judge anybody's character or try to win an argument. That's for sure. That was totally on somebody.
All right. And before we move on to the final, there's one more story you want to cover tonight. I think we kind of touched all the bases on there.
You guys are a bunch of fucking hypocrites. You all are a bunch of fucking hypocrites, and there's a reason why there's a stigma in this damn community, and you're proving it right now. You're worried about my vaccination status because I'm out here speaking facts from actual fucking sources, and this is in Red Panda. Out of me and you have had ties for a very long time.
I was just joking, bro. I really don't care if you're vaccinated or not. I thought it was just really random that he brought it up and funny. No, but
it's the same source you read about
my bad. I didn't realize it was like a whole thing. My bad. You don't have to disclose it.
Time out.
Yeah,
Let
you guys
Chris
are fucking
talk.
clowns.
Let Chris talk.
Yeah,
Stop interrupting him. Go ahead,
Chris.
There you go. A Lou review says that we all ganged up on Chris for his vaccine status. Like what we did to Chris.
We absolutely did. And then he tried to say that what proves his statement, this false statement that we ganged up on him, what proves that is that Chris unfollowed or blocked us and unfollowed us after that. That's not
Lou,
proof of
we
anything.
just proved how you lied on your show again. Lie reviews.
Look Chris's anger is not proof of anything other than he was probably having a bad day, dude. Like he took a lot of things out of context. But Lou, why don't you step? I just sent you the thing. It's in the chat. Pop in. This isn't Skyfire News. All right.
Come ask Mike the questions you wanted to ask him the other day. That you're like, no, that RPK never asked Mike any hard questions like he asked KMF.
Dude, for real. Here, look. I'll change. Look. Just for you, so you could be a man of your word. We'll get the Skyfire News. Look. Now you're just on the channel.
Chupacabra.
You're on Chupacabra. So let's just pop in. Let's talk about this for real, because it's clear that we're not. I'm not giving you viewers.
He's always going for that. He's always calling us incels, saying our viewers are trash, saying we don't get. Like he throws so much shade at us, and I'm just here like.
Oh, he's in the chat. He's in the chat, and he's like,
"Yes,
that's not gonna. You're already getting them." Viewers.
Also, bro, like our viewers compared to you and your channel, and what Skyfire is doing is pretty good. Like. We definitely had more live viewers than you have.
We don't need your viewers. There could be 2 people here. I would not care. The point is to get to some truth about the statements that you make in your show, and then at least have a back and forth instead of like the shit you do. I think.
But you accuse everyone else of being in an echo chamber, right? But like, me and Mike are banned from your chats. When you lie about us, we're not allowed to refute it. You refuse to play the full clip showing that none of us cared about Chris's vaccine status. Like. And
Yo, he said I doxed Ocean and Sam.
Well, yeah, the idea that you're the tip of the spear is really I'd like to see you guys have the conversation
he said,
about that.
Dude, he was like, after what I learned from uplifting tweets, it was all Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's
all
worse
Mike.
than Milk Fart. Mike's the tip of the spear. Mike was the one directing all these people.
Dude, everybody,
Ooh, yeah.
can I get a one? Everybody in the chat, get a one in the chat if you want Lou reviews to pop in here, and we can hash this out. I want to see ones in the chat if you guys want that. If not, that's cool. But I want to get Lou in the mix.
Also, apparently he's got some super exciting project that he's like, fuck all of you about that he's got. Did you hear this too? He was like, all of you guys only knew what I was working on. You guys all chose the wrong fucking team. Like that.
With a lie detector test determined that was a lie.
I wish you all the best, Lou, with whatever project you're working on. And that Tom Hanks thing. I thought it was pretty funny that
was good.
It was cool because people were roasting him about his moped, and then it's like to flex with Tom Hanks on your moped or whatever. That's pretty cool. That's a W. That's a Lou W. Rare Lou W.
What film was that though? What film was that? Was that one? Who's got like white? I don't know.
Guys, he rode on a scooter next to Tom Hanks. He's made it. Right? Made it.
You know, a lot of people go to LA trying to be actors, and he actually does have a pretty sizable IMDb. I will give him that. Right? I mean, I don't know.
Dude, Lou was in another production, a Dan Schneider production. He talked about this in Spaces. We were actually being very civil. I'd come on and tell the story, Lou. It's a good story. It's good. I won't tell it for you. I'll give you that. But what I heard in that Spaces was very, very compelling.
Lou is a man of principle. He'll show up in your YouTube chat, but not on your stream.
That's kind of weird, Lou.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we let Lou in our YouTube chat, right? Unlike him to us, right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not allowed in Lou's YouTube chat.
We're not blocking you. That's
Riot Tits run his fucking chat.
I hear Matthew Riot sucks, and I talked to him, and he straight up lied to my face about me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you did say something rude about Greenwald in one of your 24-hour spaces, Lou. You always say I got 24 hours. Find one. Just go. You can go through my whole history and look, dude. Just find one."
Matt Riot tried to accuse my wife of trying to get his phone number to dox him, and then I proved it completely wrong right in front of their faces with the receipts, and they all just sat there like, well, it's your word, Mike.
They accused me of accusing Riot of being on the server, and I think me and you have argued about this, Mike, where I'm like, I don't think Riot's server, I think that's a red herring, and I asked for evidence of that in Lou's space, and he just like raged and like kicked me, but then says that the like ufology is an echo chamber. It's pretty peculiar. But he's about to show all of us guys, because if you guys could see what he's working on, he's about to own all of us.
Dude, he just
we're all gonna be crying in our milk, dude.
Dude, for real. It's not a gotcha, Lou. Just pop in. But either way, it is what it is. Guys, we're rounding the top of the hour over here. We're gonna have to close out. But I loved today's show. I like that Lou pussied out when he had the opportunity to come on and make his case. Dude, it's crazy. Lou was trying to give a shit, Mike, for not asking you tough questions. Right.
Well, what are the tough questions you want to ask?
I think what he was, because he's accusing you of being tip of the spear. I think he wants you to confess about all the evil things that you did in this hate group, or the things that you saw. And he thinks that the reason why you're not showing them is because it'll reveal that everything was your idea. You were masterminding all of it. Very
Lou, type your
convenient.
questions in you don't even have to come on. Type your questions. Darren Reed says, whistleblower Mary and whistleblower Fettuccini admitted last night that Mike was the one initiating all of this.
Fuck
just
you.
like I have been saying. And
Fuck
that's what Lou
Darren.
that's what Lou was parading or parroting or whatever.
Do you think we're retarded? Do you think that the whole
can I read
community is stupid, dude? This is crazy.
Can I read a DM from Uplifting Tweets? So I told him essentially, F this emotional terrorism bullshit, which is a reference to Ray. And this is what Uplifting Tweets told me. This particular chat grew from Klaus and a few others that were friends first on Reddit. So I just try to help them maintain the peace whenever I can. I feel like I was invited into their group. As for Ray, she has a lot of growing to do. I think she might truly have autism and not realize how everything comes off. I know Klaus is aware of it and trying his best to help her. And then I was just like, well, I didn't know it was Klaus's chat. I thought it was Uplifting's. And I was like, I'm leaving because he sucks too. But yeah, so here's Uplifting Tweets writing his DMs going, this group came from Reddit, okay, and I am helping them maintain the peace. And he was invited to their group. So sorry, Darren.
Sorry, we got some posting here from Blop. Blop's being very fascinating right now. Did he admit he used his family to censor people on Twitter? I think he's talking about Fettuccine Split. He should explain that very soon.
He used it. Fettuccine Split told me he has a family friend, like I guess, or his wife. His wife has a relative who is very high up in Twitter, like a real senior person in X or whatever. And like Fettuccine reached out to her on Facebook and asked him and like explained, I don't know what he said to her. I don't know if it was the truth or not about what happened, but he said something to her, and next thing you know is lifted, or the ban is lifted.
Dude, this is gonna get juicy. You for a long time, Mike, did not like me, and you have your own reasons for that. But were some of those reasons because of falsehoods you were led to believe about me? And if so, did you overcome those? Did you find out?
No, I definitely will. So, I mean, like, I definitely have issues, whatever, but the problem was the lying that was going on, like KMF, Dandy, Darren. I mean, I have a tweet here, or I have something from, I want to read this from Uplifting Tweets, what he said. He said he was really upset with the rape accusations from King Milkfart. He tweeted, he said that to me in DMs, and I think he said it about Carlson, which I don't know what that means.
That's Paranormal Chris, as we know, for the room friend of the show who we just played, who me and Tupa supported and all that, which is fine. You don't have to like.
Is that his name?
Yeah, you don't have to like me for me to be like it's wrong.
I didn't know that was his name. I thought he was talking about Tucker Carlson, to be perfect. So I was like, I didn't. So he said, all right. Oh, wow. Okay, this kind of changes the meaning of it to me.
Yeah, they're talking about Paranormal Chris there, who was falsely accused of raping his elderly neighbor after he posted something that called to question.
Can you pull up the Agent Meatball account real quick?
Yeah,
I think you should pull that up.
You got that, Red?
Yes, I got that.
Dude, things are getting very interesting now.
Whistleblower Agent Meatball, dude. Okay, I think it's this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one from 10 hours ago. It says, here we see uplifting tweets.
Okay. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay.
So I was apologizing to him about, essentially pulling out of these groups. I'm like, I'm sorry if this turns you off to UFO Twitter, like me basically having problems with Ray being an emotional terrorist. And, and you know what the other thing was, because you guys were coming into spaces and we were talking and they had a problem with it. And they had a signal chat, right? That I was not in. So I guess he was asking about a signal chat. But read what he says about also, I hate that. Right? He says, also, I hate that KMF uses the rape thing against whatever without knowing for sure if it is him. He knows.
They all know.
King Tweets knows King Milkfart is saying things about people raping other people and doesn't like it, but does nothing about it.
Holy fuck. So you have this DM that shows right away that Uplifting Tweets knows that KMF is making false rape accusations against people, and everyone else knows it. And you also have a DM that shows that Uplifting Tweets sent Gary fucking Nolan to KMF to get to be the authority on another person. And that person was another target of KMF's, KMF told Jules to stick a gun in his mouth. I mean, I don't know how bad YouTube's going to censor this, but he told him to off himself. He told him to unalive himself several times. KMF said this to Jules. And then he went on to slander Jules and to prevent Gary Nolan from talking to him in his spaces.
Don't forget, he goes on to also rip on Screen, too, for being an Uber driver in that other DM, too.
Oh, yeah. Actually, let's finish up this DM first. Yes.
Fucking Uplifting is a piece of garbage, dude.
And mind you, from the first accusation, Chris was like, this is not me. Me and Tupa were like, this is not Chris. We looked into it. There was never any kind of gray room with Chris of like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so then, yeah, I just think Ray is above screen and these other spaces losers, and she's putting too much effort into it. I don't give a flying fuck about an Uber driver that spends all day in spaces. I am tired of it flooding the chat.
He's
So it's
tired
funny-
of Ray
so they're-
flooding,
Oh
Ray
my-
is
so-
flooding the chats with drama about Screen. Right?
Yes.
Oh, is
Yeah.
Mike flooding the chats
Yeah.
with drama?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't see that? No, it's Ray.
Dude, and so we have these DMs from Ray to Screen that Screen shared a while back that shows that Ray is lording over Screen her access to. She fucking literally says, if you side with Tupa, you're gonna lose access to people like Gary Nolan and Klaus and shit. So like, these aren't imaginary lines. And when that DM got released and people saw it, Ray had 1,000 excuses for why that was out of context and that wasn't a thing. But here we go. They gaslit everybody. A therapist, a so-called therapist, sat here and gaslit the community so that she could yield her weird fucking control over it. This is so gross to see after having it denied forever and having these people, bro.
He's still tweeting with KMF today. He's like,
Oh, yeah. Of course.
He's making fake rape
Fake?
accusations.
Guys.
And then he goes in and loves everything about the guy, promotes him so that he can go on and continue to do whatever he's doing.
Before we move on to the other one real quick, let's watch this real quick because this is important info. I mean, Mike says that KMF is lying here and that when he says he's fed information about people that he does himself, which is probably maybe true, but it is interesting that he says this about this whole thing.
Rapist.
Milk, I got a question for you, bud. So we all remember Paranormal Chris, right? He was on the platform. He was on the platform for a few months, and then randomly, after like 4 or 5 months of on the platform, that's when you guys started to falsely accuse him of raping his elderly neighbor. And I was wondering, Shane, why did you decide to do it when you did?
Okay, I'll happily answer that, except I want you to ask it in its non-loaded form, please, because that's most certainly not what happened.
What caused you to falsely accuse Paranormal Chris of being a rapist after months of him being on the platform?
Yet again, no one accused him of being a rapist. There was a rape case, and the transcript of it had his full name in it, and it was horrific. He was asked about it, and he chose to not only not deny it, he chose to go on the attack and then block.
Do you see Think Tank? Think Tank is backing this up.
Yeah,
nice cover
Think
story.
Tank was a big one who ran with this too. It was Think Tank and Milk Fart.
Can you let? I mean, I really want the audience, and like, I'm gonna clip this later and share it, dude. Like, here we have these thought leaders in the community letting their friend make fake and false rape accusations against community members they don't like. Some of the ugliest things you could say about somebody in a chat. They admit that they know it's not real. And here, but in real life, out in public, they are literally gaslighting everyone. And when Chris defends himself, they all come in and then start going, nice cover story. It's 100% him. KMF says, like, this is insane. And the fact that people let this slide and continue, like, they continue to support this. The fact that, and I'm disappointed. I'm fucking fully disappointed in Gary Nolan now for having anything to do with this and having it confirmed. I'm disappointed in Corbell for going on Weaponized and saying that the negative stuff that uplifting does is still funny. It's still cool. This is absolutely fucking bonkers. And the fact that we have these DMs now, we have the back door. We have a view because of UAP Mike, a view into this, a window into what was going on behind the scenes of shit we were seeing. Red and I were calling this out for over a year. I mean, we rode this thing out, and like the fact that we get to actually see it and know what was going on behind the scenes, and that you guys get to see it too, is
and we got
crazy.
harassed harder than just about anyone in this community because of how vocal we were about this stuff. By the way, Lee Reviews, you want to?
Well, you got to remember, boys, this existed before them.
Yes, it
did.
Leah Prime, Invisible Night School. This has been around before. The Invisible Night School hijacked these people. Now, they were doing their own thing, right? But Invisible Night School made sure that the Klaus Kingdom had everything they needed to go after whoever they wanted, right? And when you arm somebody to the teeth with something that can take somebody out, they're just dying to do it, right? Like, they had everything they needed to take you out because Leah made sure of it, right? How could you not? It was such an easy duck. Even Lou Reviews was tripping over himself.
Yes.
To go for it, and he didn't. He was like, he didn't even know what that. He was like, yeah, it is. I'll do the whole thing. He was given triple exclamation points.
Dude, his DMs were horny too, bro. Leia was like, Lou said something about Tupa's Discord leak and how like crazy and shocking it was, and then she was like, "I'm coming to this."
No! God, please, no! No! No!
That you're like coming to the thought of taking down this other person in the community. Really weird. But let's finish this up.
The attack and then block every time someone brought it up. So if he was trying to explain away his innocence, he did a real shitty job of that.
So it's Chris's
he
fault.
actively denied it like multiple times. And I hope everyone heard the way that King Milkfart described what he did. He said there was a case that had his name on it, right? So they know what they're doing. They know it's not him. He had to like coach it, and it said technically it's the same name as his on the case. So, you know, he's not saying, he doesn't even think it's him. You know what I mean? So I'm asking you again, why did you do it when you did?
That's demagoguery, man. What
Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
If
If you can't be intellectually honest and have an actual conversation and like take into consideration what the person you're having the conversation with is saying.
Listen to that word salad.
Your
Joe,
bizarre.
Joe, just tell me why you did it when you did. Why didn't you do it a month before that, or why didn't you do it a month after that?
Is that Mike? Is that Mike?
What are you thinking there?
Yeah, Mike. What do you?
This is when you're having to like not babysit him, but you were like, right? You guys.
What did I just say?
Okay, you're cutting him off.
You're trying to get him to stop talking, is what to me it reads like. You're like, look, just stop talking. And I think that's what Carlos was also trying to do. Let's just go back a little bit.
An actual conversation and like take into consideration what the person you're having the conversation with is saying when you bounce your bizarre.
Joe, just tell me why you did it when you did it. Why didn't you do it a month before that, or why didn't you do it a month after that?
Panda,
what happened?
what keep doing this? Joe,
why
he
do we
keeps
do
doing this thing where he says Joe did it, right? And this is another thing that's a little, I'm confused.
Yes,
because you're
and then
like,
he says
Joe
they.
did it, but then you're like, they did it. So we go from like it's an individual, but then you're like,
why
oh,
do
it's
some
they
people
though.
masturbate while reading Guns and Ammo, bro? You know that?
What the
So
fuck did
notice,
satanic
pause,
mean
wait,
by
pause
that?
it. So like the thing was, you're like they. So was there? I mean, in my opinion, still accurate. There is no they. It's just him.
And
But are you in this moment? Are you processing what's happening? Are you because you'd already been told by Uplifting that like, hey, this fake rape shit is actually not.
I don't want to have any. I knew he was always freaking making. I told him behind the scenes. I'm like, why are you making stuff up? I can't even trust what he's saying because it's all the time. It's lies.
Do you think you were more perceptive, or do you think Think Tank and Uplifting also knew that he was a liar?
They knew.
They know, right?
So when Uplifting sends Gary Nolan to KMF, it's to lie. It's so that he can listen to KMF lie about somebody else, and that Uplifting can wash his hands of it. KMF is the biggest patsy.
He's everyone's patsy.
He's the biggest patsy, dude.
He's the village bicycle of patsies, bro.
Oh, he's the hoe, dude. He's the fucking the slut of the patsy world. This is crazy. Guys, we got let this clip play out. After that, we're gonna close out. Okay. Guys, if you think that Gary Nolan should be getting information about you guys from KMF, that let things.
Well, let's close this out.
Be.
And we have to show that DM because we didn't show it. Why did you do it when you did? We'll do that.
Why do we do anything when we do it?
Oh, KMF, you pussy!
Because I didn't know about it until I knew about it.
Oh.
How did you find out about it? Love these moments, KMF.
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't hear you.
Did you hear me?
Okay, genius. I was DM'd about it.
You were DM'd about it. Ooh, it's heating up, y'all.
Liar.
Who are you DM'd by?
Someone who's not even in this room.
Who is it?
Satan.
You realize they're using you, right, Joe? They're using you to do stupid shit that they wouldn't do.
Who's they?
Because they know it's illegal
Who's
and
they?
wrong.
Who's they, bud?
Whoever sent you that false information that Paranormal Chris raped his elderly neighbor is using you. So who are they?
Wait, that was false information?
Wait,
he's so dude. He's
wait,
he's so
bad at this.
pathetic, dude. Like
He's so bad at this.
for someone who's willing to volunteer, because there's like a difference between the willingness and the capability. You know what I mean? He seems very willing to do some of the ugliest shit, but he's not that capable in doing it, especially when there's pushback. If you push back on him a little bit, the dude crumbles in front of you and does the most crazy shit and buries his friends in the process, which is exactly what you'd expect from someone like that, for sure. Okay, what do we got here? What are we looking
This
at
is
here?
this is the whistleblower mic drop of today via Agent Meatball.
Can we zoom in on that?
Okay,
Enhance.
cool.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So why, Michael, can you walk us through it, maybe?
All right, so I mean, obviously there are some messages above that, so maybe that's not a.
Oh, I know what this is.
This is like a part 2 of the one you did the other day, right?
Well, it went down a little further.
Yeah,
and that's where I noticed. I was like, oh, So the first part of this is, I'll just read this very quickly. Gary Nolan was in Jules' space, I think, and so Fettuccine Split DM'd Gary Nolan going, abort, abort, Jules is very bad news. And Gary goes, oh, damn, LOL, silly me, why? He's been on me for a while to come into his space. I happen to have a few minutes, so I thought I would. I am blind to group dynamics. Their questions were decent, though, so hopefully no harm done. And then Uplifting goes, he lost his nursing license in the UK for abusing patients. He's very charming and has great voice, but he is very dangerous. And just wanted to make sure that you were aware. So again, he's telling Gary Nolan, Jules is dangerous. Then Gary Nolan goes, abusing patients? Okay, that's that then. Please tell me more. And Uplifting Tweets goes, there's this, and links a Sky Fart News, which is KMF's alt, obviously.
Yep.
I don't know what the link is to. And so that's where you see the, well, that's all I need. Sorry, if you want to take that over.
Yeah,
you want to read the rest?
Then you're like, this all came out about a year, or this is his screenshot. This is Uplifting screenshot with Gary Nolan. This all came out about a year ago. He went on a blocking spree. He somehow got a hold of Joe Marinello's phone number and started sending unsolicited pictures from different phone numbers, which is a claim that Jules denies, right? And we already have it documented that initially KMF wasn't even running with this story. It was only after like a few months that he flipped the script. He used to say that he told him to kill himself because he claims he doxed him. And then once he learned that wasn't the case, then all of a sudden this story of sexual harassment came up months later. Another sad part is that Jules is a great person, in my opinion. Super nice, super sweet. And they had like kind of left UFO Twitter. One of many people, that's why I think it's important to talk about it, because people are like, just ignore him. Well, it's easy to ignore them when they're not telling you to like kill yourself and posting pictures of your family and stuff like that, right? Anyways, Gary Nolan goes in one of their spaces, in Jules' spaces, and it was like Jules' first time having fun on Twitter, like literally all year. And then to know that behind the scenes, Uplifting Tweets is spreading these lies about him, and like the space was actually really good about just UFO stuff. No drama even or anything like that. I think Eric Weinstein hopped in there. That was that one where Eric Weinstein hopped in.
And the message that started this, which we can't see, but there is an older one if you ever get it pulled up, the abort. So while Gary Nolan is in the space, listen to this, guys. If you're out there and you decide that you're going to start up your own interview UFO podcast, and you're like, hell yeah, and you found yourself on the opposite end of this crew on accident or on purpose, if you go to make progress and some celebrities in your space,
and I DM'd you that
if these guys get it, if they find out this is what they've been reported to do for over a year, this is what they've been doing. I've only gotten the DM sometimes. I've only gotten people hit me up saying, hey, this is what people are hitting me up about you. But to have actual proof and timestamps of it, that while Gary Nolan was in Jules's first space back, big break for him, that Uplifting says abort. You get out of there. Jules is not a good dude. He's dangerous. And then spreads a lie that was created most likely by King Milkfart, and then sends him to King Milkfart, knowing that King Milkfart he's the type of person to make fake rape accusations about people. Uplifting knew, you know what you're doing. And this is the most hideous thing. Uplifting, you came into a space This motherfucker came into a space. He's not uplifting, he's not watching. He came into a space yesterday and tried to gaslight everybody and then say that UAP Mike has mental problems and that's why he's talking. They've called UAP Mike a rat. They've attacked his family. They're sitting back and watching KMF make up the most horrendous things about him, and they're out there gaslighting. We have the DMs. We have the timestamps. You guys didn't think we were watching you? You didn't think that we were piecing together like all your dumb shit? Think Tank, why did you say that to Paranormal Chris? Like, why did you continue to enforce this false narrative about someone being a rapist? That's like the craziest thing you can do.
Uplifting tweet said Think Tank, Klaus, KMF, Elf, and Moose were the original core members of that group. Think Tank was, and I'll find that DM and put it out.
Think Tank and Elf, there was a point when Think Tank, Elf, and Moose were all up in my Signal chats and DMs as well, too. It's crazy to know what they were really doing.
Look at there, and there's some more confirmation that Skyfire News is King Milk Fart, as confirmed. We all already knew it, right? But people were like, you can't prove it. Uplifting tweet saying that he directed Gary Nolan to it. Gary Nolan took Skyfire News. Mind you, Gary Nolan blocks Skyfire News. But he's taking information from Sky Fart News, right? And people are like, oh, these people don't have any connection. I found this one really interesting too, Mike. Sorry, I know Tuba's trying to leave, but real quick. This was interesting. People are like straight up saying like I got radicalized by y'all.
Yep.
So this is Shake Leather, this character that's been super sketch. And if you watch back, Leia Prime, dude, watching back through that, I'm probably gonna watch that Lou reviews thing like a few times because Leia Prime like was psyoping Lou via this guy. This guy was acting like he didn't know anything about Leia Prime and was asking Lou like, "Hey, who made the website?" And it's like, bro, Leia totally had this guy ask Lou to see if Lou would rat. If Lou was the leaky boat.
Lou was fucking always a dumbass, dude. Leah was working so hard to insulate herself from this, to control people, to control Lou. Lou still hasn't even pieced it together. It's crazy watching him get it like 90% right, 50% right, but like losing it on where he's aiming the blame at. Why is he spending hours talking about me and Red and Mike when he's still being psyoped by Leah Prime? He still doesn't know how to fully flip. To be fair, Shake Leather says, I never slung insults before joining this group. Y'all weaponized me, LOL. We hear about so much historical UFO Twitter beefs and see so many shitty screenshots of people that it's hard not to just get angry and scream at them. It's clear there are bad actors after seeing all the receipts y'all have. The police. These are the police. Self-appointed, no checks and balances.
Much of which are fabricated and like fabrications of the worst things. Like I doxed Ray. Tupa said this about his daughter. Mike said the N-word. Mike called Tupa the N-word in a DM. Like all these fabrications are getting all these people worked up to do all this really weird cringe
It's
things.
super cringe.
It's fucking crazy.
It's super cringe.
What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
Okay, on that note, we're going to close it out. Guys, call your senators, get UFO truths. If they disagree with you or you blame them for everything, harass them online. I'm playing. That's what they're doing. The UFO topic is a fun one. Let's continue to have fun. We're going to continue to call out the bad actors while also bringing you guys the best of the news of the day every day. Thanks again for being here. Catch us here tomorrow, same time, same place. Mike, again, thank you, and thanks for answering some of those questions. We're gonna have more hard questions for you. We want to know more about the mechanisms in there. We're glad that you're sharing everything, but you know what I mean. There is.
How about Lou Reviews getting mad at Mike, who's like going whistleblower mode and exposing all this stuff, but then
Says
like
everything.
But then cozying up to uplifting tweets and Mary Misanthrope. Like there's some like heroes now, and like it's just so funny.
Hey, Red, my mouse just died. You're gonna have to end the stream. All right.
Oh shoot. I'm just gonna click end stream. Right.
Cool. Let's go with me.
Bye everyone. Woo!
Peace.